Мы это уже проходили.
Like, конечно, kind of. Like, накра. Конечно.
Типа так, ну так.
Так. Я. Ну так. Я.
Так.
But nakra is like positive. Like when you say, should we meet tomorrow for coffee? I can answer nakra. It's like, sure. Let's do it. Sure.
It's really конечно.
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 Oh, it's you.
Okay.
When you come tomorrow, what is your plan? It's really interesting.
Tomorrow
Movie
is
club.
Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know something. Okay.
Yeah, it will be. I just ask you. Yes, for tomorrow, it will be our.
I know
thing.
him.
Yes, it's
I don't
very
know why
good.
I know him, but I know him.
And he also one very beautiful movie with him. It's called Lonely Man, something like this. It's really beautiful. But it's more melancholic than it. It's like about personal growth. It's motivation, a lot of motivation.
So after the movie, I will go home and be like starting businesses.
Yeah. Today I wrote a few messages about a business starting, some chat groups we talk about. Yeah, and it's interesting to read answers. And I just wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we will talk today about the topic of ger, giyur, and how we relate to someone that come into our society from the outside and becoming a new member. Which law have we towards this person, and based on several law, we can understand how we should look at this situation, and maybe we can learn to see an example how can we perceive immigrants from other country, how many rights should we give them, should we give them equal rights like local, or maybe a little less. So this is a big question. So we will start about commandments. That all the commandments that we have, we can separate them in two piles, two groups. First is Ben Adam Lamakom, mitzvot that we have towards God, and the second part is called Ben Adam Lachavero, mitzvot that we have towards the other person, towards the other people. And we can see these two parts in the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments have two parts. You can see it's there on the Aron HaKodesh. It's two tablets, right?
Above the scroll.
Yeah. Two tablets, and one tablet have 5 commandments, and the second have also 5 commandments. Oh, so yes. So I will read them real quick. So the first is Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am your God. The second, you should not serve other gods. The third, you should not say the name of God for no reason. The fourth is about Shabbat. You should observe Shabbat. And the fifth, Shabbat. The fifth is about the parents. You should honor your parents. So this is 5 first, and 5 second part. Lo tirtzach, you should not kill. Lo tinaf, you should not have intimate contact with the wife of other person. Lo tignov, you should not steal. Lo taneh beracha et shakar, you should not give false evidence about the other person. Lo tachmod beitreich, v'lo titave beitreich, and you should not want to get something that belongs to other person. So we see the first part is about hierarchy that we have, mainly is about God for first, and the fifth is about parents. So it's also about hierarchy that we have. We need to obey the elders, the wise man, and the God. And the second part is how we relate to the other person, Ben Adam LeChavero. So the question, and this is just the basic things, and it's not connected to any person. So it said lo tirtzach, you should not kill, but it's not specifying who you should not kill. So it means you should not kill anyone, and also lo tignov, you should not steal. It's not specifying from who you want to steal. Velo tinaf, and also about the wife of other person. So it's forbidden towards any person. Doesn't matter he's Jewish or not. But the last two is about re'echa. Re'echa means your friend. You should not say about your friend a false evidence, and you should not want. You should not want something that belongs to your friend, and for example, his field or his property, like animals or everything that he have. So this mitzvah is about when you see something that belongs to the other person and you start to convince him that he have to give it to you or to sell. So it's forbidden. And in a modern world, it's about the property, that everyone have the right to have his own property, and we cannot take it away from someone else. And also the main mitzvah that we have, Ben Adam LeChavero, is ve'ahavta le're'acha kamocha. You should love the other person like yourself. And again, this word re'acha means your friend. You should love your friend like yourself. So the question is, who is considered your friend and who is not considered your friend? And so in halacha, we see that this commandment is about Israel. Mitzvah kol adam lehov kol echad v'Israel kegufo. You should love everyone from Israel, from Jewish people, Jewish nation, Jewish society, like yourself, lefichach. And what means to love someone? צריך לספר בשבחו, you should talk good things about the other person. ולחוס על ממנו, you should take care of the property of the other person, like you do it for your property. So if you, for example, if you forget to lock your bike, so you're afraid that someone may take it. So if you see that someone else forgets to lock his bike, so you should tell the owner that he should do it. And kavod is about reputation in society. So if I don't like when someone talk bad things about me, so the same, I need to talk good things about the other person, which is a Jewish person, and I should not talk bad things about other Jewish person. And someone that it's a technique that someone uses. It's not fair technique, so I'm saying he is bad, and this is why I am good. So it is very bad behavior. So if I am Jewish, so if I'm doing it, so it's that bad that I'm not, doesn't belong to the world to come. So basically, it's a big sin to have. Stevchik? Jobs. Oh. But on the other hand, we have this opportunity to become the part of Jewish society. That's called Giyur. And we need to understand how can we relate to the ger, because is he becoming the part of society, integral part or additional part? And we have also mitzvah ahava, love towards the ger. And the Rambam wrote the next halacha, ahavat hager sheba v'nichnas tachat kanfei shechina shtei mitzvot aseh. So towards the someone that is Jewish, we have one commandment to love him, but to love someone that came from the outside, we have two commandments towards him. Why? So first, he is considered a friend, so I need to love him like the other Jewish. But also there is a special commandment to love ger, ואהבתם את הגר. צבא אהבת הגר כמו שצבא אהבת עצמו. So the interesting part here is when we're talking about to love other Jewish person, we're talking about to love him as yourself. But when we're talking about to love the ger, it doesn't say about yourself, like yourself. So is it means the bigger love or less love? We need to understand it. Роза, как ты думаешь? Про еврея сказано, что нужно любить еврея как себя, но про гера сказано, что просто нужно любить гера. Не сказано как себя. Так имеется в виду, что гера нужно любить больше, чем еврея, или наоборот, меньше. So the simple understanding, because it doesn't say as yourself, so it's less love. Yes, maybe just show something superficial on the surface that you love, but it's not like you love yourself. We could say that. So Rambam says that it's the other way around.
Maybe I forget about it, or I didn't hear about it. I want to think about it. Yes, maybe it's for sure. Every time it's if the basic understanding is just first level for understanding, and when, for example, we talks about you need to что есть мицва там ненавидеть.
Про ненависть ты говоришь?
Да.
Вот тесна это хиха беловеха.
Две стороны одной монеты. Просто это интересно.
Да, но про запрет ненавидеть только про брата.
Про брата. Я думала про всех.
So Rosa brings other topic about the hate. Сина. So there is a commandment, lo tisna et achicha bilovecha, ochech tochiach et amitecha, velo tisa alav chet. You should not hate your brother, but you should talk to your brother, to negotiate, to say what you don't like about him. На ручки, пойдем на ручки.
If your brother, for example, do something that you don't like,
Смотри, это ты.
Видишь?
Кто расстроился? Ты расстроилась? Почему ты расстроилась? Расскажи папе.
И вот еще такой момент, когда если кто-то нарушает публично,
так, то что?
Нужно ему об этом говорить.
Публично нельзя говорить, но мы сейчас не учим закон упрек.
О том, что он нарушил, как бы, условно.
Вот это папин компьютер, это не твое.
Нужно упрекнуть об этом.
Еврея нужно упрекнуть,
Еврея, да.
Но не публично.
Не публично. Просто, мне кажется, это тоже как бы связано.
Ты можешь поиграться с магнитофоном.
С ненавистью. Вот эту тему.
So it's another topic about hate. So we have Isur. Torah says that you should not hate your brother within your heart, but it's only about your brother, and there's no mirror mitzvah for the ger. So you should love a ger, but so if you love him, so it's you cannot hate him if you love him, right? So it's connected. So we're talking about love. So the question was, to love ger, is it more than to love Jewish, or it's less? Some Rambam says, "Tzeva ahavat hager kmo shetzeva le'ahavat asmo." So we need to love God, but about God doesn't says like yourself. So it's the same like loving God, to love the ger. Что поскольку про еврея сказано «люби как себя», а про гера не сказано как себя, так Рамбам говорит, что любовь к геру похожа на любовь к Богу. And about God, it says that God loves Gerim also. So if you love God, you need to also love Gerim, because God loves Ger. Interesting.
Что ты сейчас хочешь, Лиза?
Среда 13:4. Курочку?
Так здорово, что она может сказать, чего она хочет. When I ask what do you want, sometimes she can say, I want in your hand, or I want to eat something special. She can say what she wants. It's very short. She wants to eat kurочка, like the chicken. Курочка.
Ням-ням.
Пойдем. Мама тебе даст. Пойдем.
Мишна Кидуш. So, Israel Sagio. Okay, so about the Jewish person that was born in Jewish families, he's considered Jewish, but also we have so head Jewish, and we have the term ger, but also we have interesting term that's called Hasid Umod Haolam. That if someone which is not Jewish, if he behaves very good way, so he's considered a righteous man. And he also can connect to God after his death, and so his soul also coming closer to God in the spiritual world.
Even if he's not Jewish?
Yes, if he's considered Hasid.
Like righteous.
Righteous, yes. So if we're talking about Jewish, so everyone that is Jewish, he is going to Olam Haba, except if he did something very bad, which we need to learn, which is exactly, and it's about 13 principles of faith. So if we believe in 13 principles of faith, so we come into the next world, and if we don't, we're not coming. But so it's like the basic level that we are coming. Kol Yisrael yesh lem chelek olam haba chutz. So every Jewish person have his part in the world to come, except some cases. But in non-Jewish, it's the other way. So only someone that is righteous, he is coming to the next world, but in regular, it's not. So about the family, So the family gives identity, the Jewish family, and this is why we have a law that we cannot marry someone that is not Jewish, and the reason behind it is we will read now. So Moses talks to Jewish nation that you going now to the new land, and then there is some nations that live in here, and you should be careful because they are Gentiles, they have this pagan culture, and you have your own way to serve God. So this is why you should not get too close with them, because if you be too close with them, you should learn from their culture and also begin to serve idolatry. So in order to not serve idolatry, you should not take their daughters for your sons, because then you can serve their gods. So this is a mitzvah that we have, that when we marry someone, we marry only from Jewish and not from the other nations. So it's interesting even that we need to love. So ger, we need to love ger, but if just a non-Jewish person, so we cannot marry, because we have our identity and his identity is different. So we can lose our identity if we get in too close with the non-Jewish person. I'm talking about marriage. That's interesting. So in order to have our strong identity, we need to be close to our family. And also we discussed it, how this covenant works in the book of Dvarim. So that's interesting, that if I born in Jewish family, so I need to follow my culture, and it's in Wochenkapitel Kita C. Oh no, it's not here. So it's Nitzavim. So this breed, the covenant the Jews made before they entered the land of Israel, it's not only the covenant of that generation, but also for the generations to come.
What is covenant?
A covenant breed, so like agreement, that we need to perform mitzvot, and God, if we perform mitzvot, so God will make something for us. We will have a good harvest, for example, good weather. Ki et asher, I'm not found in this pasuk now. Ki et asher einenu po imanu hayom. Kaftet Yudal. Oh, so it's in Nitzavim.
What does Hayom mean?
Hayom, today. Yom is day. Hayom, this day. It means today. Hayom. Ki et asher yeshno po. Oh. Laman hakimotcha hayom lo la'am. So you became in the nation of your God, and your God will be your judge. But not only this generation, but also not only that presents here today, but also which are not present here. So it's about the future generations. So if we born in Jewish family, we feel that we own something to our roots, and we need to continue the tradition that our family have, because we value this tradition. So it's about values. So if person doesn't born in Jewish family, so he doesn't have this tradition, and he's not obligated to follow our culture. But if the person feels that it's close to him, these ideas, this law that we have, so he could make Giyur, convert, and also becoming the part of society. So the question that we need to understand, does this make him Jewish or not? So we talked about it already, that it's about rights. And so we see in Rambam that the love that we have towards Jewish is different love that we have towards the Ger. Because when we love Jewish person, we need to love them as ourselves, which means, so it's like some bonus, right? So there is every person. So if I'm a good human being, I show in respect to the other, but I'm not too close with everyone. But we have our society, our community, and within our community, I need to show preference to the participants of our community. So if they have property that's in danger, so I need, so it's my problem also. So if I feel that I'm part of this society, so I need to find this person to help him. And also there is a mitzvah, for example, Prika Uteina. Now I remember it. It's just an example of a mitzvah that I need to help the other person. Shmot Kaf Gimel. So it's about, today we have cars, but in the times before they didn't have cars, they have animals. Kaf Gimel, so usually it's a donkey or maybe a camel. So if I want to move from one house to the other, I'm using a donkey and I'm pulling all my stuff on him. Kaf Gimel. Hey. Shmot Kav. Oh, Dvarim. Sorry. So the situation that Torah talks about, if I'm meeting the donkey of someone and he is falling because he have too much weight on him and he could not get up. This interesting situation.
Then you have the donkey.
Oh, so it says like it. כי תראה חמור שונאך רובץ תחת מסעו וחדלת מעזוב לו, עזוב תעזוב עמו. So when you see the donkey of the person that you hate and he could not get up because the load is too heavy, so you need to help him to get up.
Even though you hate the person?
Yes, so this is the point here, that you need to help not only to the person that you like, but even if you hate someone, you also need to help him. So social help is about actions that you have to perform, even if your personal relationship with this person is not that good, but you still have obligation to help. So, and in the book of Dvarim, this mitzvah is repeats, and it says, "Lo tir'eh et chamor achicha shelo noflim baderech v'tamtam behem hakem takim imo." You should not see the chamor, his donkey, the donkey of your brother, or shoro, or his ox falling, v'tamtam behem, and you pretend like you don't see it. Hakem takim imo. You should help them to stand up if they falling. So here we see also achicha, your brother, which means that this obligation is that we have is toward someone that considered Israel. So the ger is also considered Israel. So this is why all these commandments are also towards the ger. It's just an example that I remember now.
You wanted to ask maybe
Да. Что, уже перекус?
Ну, мы можем сделать либо после урока, либо сейчас, как бы.
Ну, давайте попозже, мы только начали.
We can do like a little chicken break.
Chicken break.
I remember that you said you don't like chicken, is okay? But we will do a little chicken break. Yes.
Ну, еще меньше, чем полчаса даже. Ну, давай мы получимся хотя бы 45 минут.
Конечно, отличное время.
Конечно. О, накла. So we can... Doch.
It's so...
Also, she knows to say abholen.
Yeah, when...
Abholen nach Hause. Zu Hause.
Abholen.
Yes, in January. Ja.
Wer holt dich ab? Holt dich Mama ab? Ja, abholen. Holt dich Mama ab oder Papa? Holen. It's a question. Yeah. So,
Oh.
who's picking you up?
Yeah.
So,
Question. Question.
Oh, it's every time it's very familiar. Oh, it's
Okay, so
What the ring? Okay, yeah. Быстрее закончим.
so we're talking about Gerim. So we see that we have a commandment of love towards Gerim, like we have towards Israel, Jewish. So someone that's become Jewish, we need to show the same amount of love towards him, because Ger also considered Jewish. But the topic of the meeting today, I would like to say several things when we could find a difference between the Jewish and Ger. Doch, doch. So even that the Ger is considered Jewish, but still he doesn't have the same rights as Jewish. He doesn't have 100% the same rights. So I just wanted to talk about some examples. Oh. So one example is about leadership that we have, and so when we had a monarchy system, and we want to apply someone, a king above us, so we have this law, Mikerev acheirem achicha kamocha. שום תשים עליך מלך אשר יבחר השם אלוקיך בו, מקרב אחיך תשים עליך מלך, לא תאכל עליך איש נוכרי אשר לא אחיך הוא. So when you are coming to the land and you are saying, I would like to apply a king above me like the other nations, you can apply yourself a king that Hashem, your God, would choose him, but the condition is it should be mikerev achecha, from your brothers. But in other cases, we see that Ger is also considered a brother, but here Torah emphasizes lo tuchal latet elecha ish nochri asher lo achicha hu. You cannot apply someone to be a king above you, which is ish nochri. Nochri is a stranger, asher lo achicha hu, which is not your brother. So here we have a law that someone that made Giur, he cannot be Jewish king, which logical, yes?
Wow.
You didn't-
Why? I think it's not good.
No, it's not democracy.
No. It's
Why?
strange.
Why is strange?
Because if it's a year,
Mm-hmm.
be like a part of Jewish people.
Yeah, because that's very important, because in today's democracy we don't see this rule. For example, in America we saw a black person becoming a president, or it should exist some woman president also, right?
No, there was never.
Oh no, so we expecting it to come.
Melvin,
What?
what's your argument? What now?
No, I cannot talk about American society because it's maybe not bad example, but something similar. So the question, who is the majority and who is the minority, right? So in Jewish nation we have the majority that was born Jewish, and we have the minority person that made Giyur. So if we want to apply the leaders, so it's logical that we want to apply someone from the majority, right? Because if we apply someone, oh wow, that not born Jewish, so people could say, oh, he's not a local, and we doesn't want him to be our leader because he came from the other place and he doesn't understand us. He don't represent our needs. So we can understand.
Now it's not so actual for us.
What do you mean not so actual?
It's just about the king, but we have not king.
Yes, but I'm saying that we have this law in Jewish halacha, right? So it's important how we relate to the person that came to our society from the outside. So he cannot be 100% like us. This is very important.
Just a lot of leaders of communities is gearing.
Oh, and other
Yes, and it's okay.
and other example, doch.
I have a question.
Yes, sure.
Can a gear become a rabbi?
Sure.
Oh, so this is the other example that I wanted to say.
Rabbi, for sure. Rabbi, I don't know for specifically, like differently, but it's
Sanhedrin 36b.
I know like maybe few like in fact.
I know a few kings.
And look like more than you know.
I'm kidding.
It's joke, yeah. Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth, and now there's a guy who's a king in Britain.
I cannot remember his name. In my head, it's always
John?
No.
Ready?
No. What is his name?
I don't remember.
The King of England, United Kingdom. It was Queen Elizabeth, and now her son, but I cannot remember.
Doch. Ready.
I only know the children from this king. So William,
yeah.
Prince Harry, who's not a prince
Ah,
anymore.
yeah. William and Jerry, yes, it was that.
But the father, what's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
He's king now. I cannot remember.
Oh. So also there is a law about Dinei Nefashot. So when we talk about Beit Din, we have several types of Beit Din, like the regular court and the, как это называется, центральный суд? The big court. There's a special term. Maybe central court. So the central court is called Sanhedrin, but also we have two types of Sanhedrin, the big Sanhedrin and the small Sanhedrin. So the difference between Sanhedrin and the regular court is about death penalty. So in order to perform death penalty, it's not enough to have regular Beit Din, 3 people, but we need at least 23 people, and then we can perform death penalty. And there is a law about the head of this Sanhedrin that also it's ger cannot be the head of this, but only the person that his father and mother are from Israel, are Jewish. Only then.
Even if it's like the mother is Jewish, but the father is not Jewish.
So he cannot.
Okay. So both Jewish parents.
Okay. But why it's important to talk about it at all? So it's and also the other topic is the text of the prayer that we have. So it's in Mishnah in Bikurim. So we have a mitzvah to bring Bikurim. Bikurim it means when I have new fruit, new harvest. So mitzvah said that the first harvest I need to bring to the temple and not just eat it in my house, but it's a religious ritual that I'm coming with it and I'm saying gratitude to God. So we have this ritual, and there's a specific text that we need to say. And the text goes like it. הגעתי היום להשם אלוהיך, כי באתי אל הארץ אשר נשבע השם לאבותינו לתת לנו. So thank God that now I have this land that God promised to my forefathers. So the question is, can Ger perform this mitzvah, and can he say this phrase? Because it's not exactly his forefathers, right? So halacha in Mishnah said, "Elu mevi'in velo korim." Hager mevi ve'ino koreh. So a ger, he can bring this offering and perform this mitzvah to bring bikurim to the temple, but he cannot say this special phrase. Why? Because he could not say this phrase that God had sworn, had an oath to give this land to my forefathers. So also here we see the difference between the person that was born Jewish. So if the person have Jewish mother, he could come and he could bring bikurim, and also he could say this phrase. But if the person is ger, he could bring bikurim, but he could not say this phrase. But this commandment is also only relevant when we have a temple. So now it's not that practical, but the most practical is about the prayer. So Mishnah talks about the prayer. Oh, we have this prayer book here. Oh, Shacharit. So in the text of prayer, we also mention our forefathers, right? Amidah. We saying Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu veLokei Avoteinu. So I'm saying blessed, blessed you, the God, our God and God of our forefathers. So also Mishnah discusses if the ger can say this phrase or not. So it's a very important question. So Mishnah says when ger prays privately, he should say Elohei Avot Israel. Oh, so he should not say my forefathers, by forefathers of Jewish nation of Israel. And when ger prays inside the synagogue, so it's not that beautiful to show that he is a foreigner. So he should say different words, Elohei Avotechem, the God of your forefathers. So it's more connected, but still shows a little distance. But if the person have Jewish mother, he can say classic text, Elohei Avotenu, the God of our forefathers.
So if somebody was born from a Jewish mother, so like
oh, that's
the
interesting.
mother make Gior, and the son, for example, is born, so he's considered Jewish.
I guess it's a good question. I need to check. I'm not sure now.
And does he say my forefathers?
So this is the question of halacha. Yes. So this is Mishnah. It's very ancient text. Yes. So we need to check halacha. And for example, in Shulchan Aruch, it's interesting halacha. Yesh mon'in ger miliot shliach tzibur v'nidchu divrei. So the question is, can someone be the leader of the prayer cantor? So when we have a minyan, we need to pick someone that would be the head of the prayer. And the question is, could ger be the head of the prayer? And in Shulchan Aruch, it's written, Yesh mon'in, that there are people that don't want to apply ger to be shliach tzibur, to be cantor, but nidchu divreihem. But this opinion is not right. So we doesn't need to think like it. We can apply a ger. אפילו יחיד יכול לעכב ולומר איני רוצה שבני יהיה חזן אם לא שכבר הסכים עליו מתחילה. But overall, if we want to apply someone as a cantor, so everyone could say, I don't want this person, I want the other person. So it's democracy. Yeah. So there is no a law that we could not apply ger. But if someone privately doesn't want someone, even if it's a ger, so he can say, I don't want this person. And if someone saying, I don't want this Jewish person, he can also say it. ודווקא שיהיה לאותו יחיד טעם הגון, על פי טובי העיר, אבל בלאו הכי יחיד יכול למחות בשעת. So Rameau continues that it needs to be a reason behind it, and not just to say I don't want this person because I don't like him. ואם הוא שונאו ימחול למחות בו קודם שהסכים עליו. So if, for example, Vorstand discussing who we want to apply, so this person needs to say, I don't want this one when this discussion goes on, but after the community decides that this person is a cantor, so a private person could not say, I don't want him, because community agreed that this would be the cantor. ואם הוא שונא לש"ס, לא ינסה בתורה כשקורא תוכחה. It's this additional interesting law. If cantor is someone that I don't like him, and if he's reading the Torah, and it says about curses, so I should not come to the Sefer Torah, Aliyah, because there's no explanation. Why? I guess it's just a bad sign. Let's say it's like he curses me, or I can think. Okay, so this is the. So the main question here is the reasoning. So why there was some people that doesn't want to apply a ger to be shliach tzibur, to be cantor. So Mishnah Berurah explains לפי שלא יכול לומר אלוהי אבותינו, because the ger cannot say the God of our forefathers. So this is why there is an opinion that we should not apply ger to be cantor. אבל כשהוא מתפלל בינו לבין עצמו יאמר אלוהי אבות ישראל. And Mishnah Berurah continues, but when the ger prays with himself, private prayer, he could say אלוהי אבות ישראל, the God of forefathers of Israel. ונדחו דבריהם, but why? But Shulchan Aruch says halacha that this opinion is not a practical opinion, and we can apply ger to be cantor. Why? והוא יכול לומר גם כן אלוהי אבותינו, because ger can say אלוהי אבותינו. So we see that halacha is not according to this Mishnah, and ger also can say this word Elohei Avotenu. But why? We need to understand, because we can say that it's a lie, because the forefathers of this person didn't make a covenant with God, because Abraham. So what is the meaning of the word Avraham? Av Hamon Goim, the father of a lot of nations. So not only Israel, but other nations was also the students of Abraham. So Abraham told to the whole world the idea of believing in God. So, for example, we have Christianity and Islam, and they have also this idea that we have only one God, the idea of monotheism. So the idea of monotheism coming from Abraham. So if someone prays to the one God, he can say Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, because he is like the student of or the follower of Abraham in terms of that he prays to one God. Oh. Yes. Oh, so I'm just only want to explain why I'm talking about this topic and how this is connected to our day-to-day practice, because and why it is important. For example, today person, you were very surprised. Today person could say why we cannot apply ger to be king or to be the head of the Sanhedrin. Pluch. Uppsala. Uppala. Oh, so why? So I think it's connected also maybe a little bit with the topic of identity. So if I want to apply a leader, so the leader should I should identify myself with a leader, right? But if the leader is not If a leader is was not born Jewish and I was born Jewish, so I cannot identify myself with the leader with 100%. And also, it's important, I think, when a person wants to integrate and the person comes from the outside, I think it's important to have some different in the law, because if we given 100% the same rights and the same law for the people that are coming from the outside, so it breaks a little bit of our identity, because there should be a difference between the people that was born Jewish and people that was not born Jewish. Because from my experience, for example, of course, if we're talking about normal people, maybe it's not that important, but sometimes people have big ambitions, people want to be Jewish, people want that others would call them Jewish, they want to be important, and they strive for Giyur because they want to feel their importance in the eyes of the other person. So it's very important to prevent this to happen, and to have the law that says you came here, so in order to become the part of society, you need to understand that you need to do something, and not just you get this document and you the part of the fully part of society and you can feel free. And we have this situation today, for example, in Germany, that there is so many people that are coming from the outside, and they receiving the same rights. So this is the question of identity. So we have our identity and we want to preserve it. Of course, we are open to receive the other people to make Giyur and to convert. But in order to save our identity, I think it's important to show that the person that came from the outside, he is not identical to us in some details, right? And so when the person wants to make Giyur, he needs to accept all our law. So today we call it integrational course, right? And this integrational course takes time. It's not in one day, so it's usually several years that this process is taken. And it's I think this is a scheme that we have in Judaism. It's we can use it as an example, as a good example. That someone that comes from the outside, he doesn't have the same rights, and he have this period of adaptation, because we want to preserve our culture and share it with others. But if we will give too many rights to the people from the outside, so it may become the situation that they are bringing their culture to our society and not taking our culture to them. So it's very important to look. Yes, so we have our culture, and the person that comes from the outside have their culture. So we have a lot of laws concerning how we work with the other cultures. So we discussed today that we cannot marry a non-Jewish person. We cannot create a family with non-Jewish person. So this is also worked in order to save our identity. So the same is about this law and integration process. So we need to have our culture. So this is the level 0 or the status quo, and someone that wants to join, he needs to be part of our culture, and we need to monitor this situation, that it would not get to problematic situation when people that are coming from the outside, they bring in their culture to us, and they becoming someone that we need to adapt to them, and not them needs to adapt to us. So this is the immigrational crisis that we have today. So it's very important to leverage this rights topic, that the law should distinct between the people that was born here and people that came from the outside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and some there can be a head of community.
Oh, this is a very important question.
I think,
It,
because a lot of years it's are leaders
Mhm.
in communities. Not, I don't know specifically about Rabbiner, but I know that a lot of years work in communities like leaders. A lot
I guess
It's like
in organization, in teachers, in event management or teaching or something, community leadership, something like that. Yeah. A lot. And there can be better than Jews, if I can say like this, in this way. Because it's really like a mission, you know.
I know, for example, that in Catholic community, they have like a religion course for kids, for Jewish kids. So they learn a little bit about Jewish culture and the religion. And he is not Jewish. But he didn't make you, I think. He's like.
no. If we're talking some technical workers, so it's not a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Administrational worker.
No, he's the religion teacher.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
Jewish, so he teaches Jewish religion to kids, but he's not Jewish.
And he didn't make you.
No, I
Oh,
don't think so.
interesting.
Yeah.
But he's teaching
Mhm.
to the kids.
For example.
So this is the question of identity. So it's like if I go to the university or to the school, person that I teach in, so someone could teach history, but he's not part of this history.
Yes, and it can be. But religion is more high in.
This is an interesting question about the teaching.
Yeah. And I have a question.
Mhm.
What is the meaning if someone wants to be like a Jew and do video and can't have like all the rights?
So what's the problem?
Why?
Because he doesn't. Because it's impossible to become Jewish, right? How can you become Jewish if you was not born in Jewish family?
And what's about like you was Jewish, like you have a Jewish soul, and if you can do this gear, it's like a realizing of your Jewish soul.
I'm not familiar with this quote. We need to check it. If you can find this quote, we
No,
can
it's just
check it.
interesting. Okay, maybe we can.
So we're talking about. So we already discussed it several times about two parts of identity. So I was born Jewish. So this is, and I'm serving God within the Jewish religion. So if someone converts, he becoming the part of Jewish society, right? But he cannot become born Jewish. It's impossible, right?
Yeah, but how I know and how I know my friends, something, for example, it's not in general in real life separated. You was born or you are again.
But we just read about several examples. Mishnah says that Ger could not say the God of our forefathers, right? Maybe they didn't learn this Mishnah.
In which moment is this phrase? When we praying in
So the original law is about Bikurim. So if Ger brings Bikurim, he cannot say special text that other Jews saying that thank you for the land that you have given to my forefathers. Birkat Hamazon. And also I wanted to talk about Birkat Hamazon. נוכרי אין מזמנים עליו, ואחי רגיל לשמיים ולטבל, אין מזמנים עליו, אבל גר גמור מזמנים עליו, יכול להיות בקנזון, So when we make in Zimun and we make in Birkat Hamazon, we also, with the non-Jewish person, we cannot make Zimun, but with Ger we can make Zimun, and Ger can say for the land that you have given heritage to our forefathers.
It's very interesting.
משנה ברורה. והיינו אפילו להוצאכם לפי שלאברהם ניתנה הארץ למורשה. So the same reasoning like we said about the prayer, because Abraham have got this heritage, and Abraham called Av Hamon Goim, the father of a lot of nations. So fertig. This is all for today. So tomorrow we will watch this movie, The King's Speech, at the 6 p.m. And this is about personal growth with the teacher. It was idea of Rosa. It was not my idea. So if someone wants,
clarify it, it was Rosa's idea.
because she's a coach. So if someone wants to suggest a movie for the next time, we open to suggestions. See you tomorrow.
Ciao, ciao, lieber.